Okay, so now you know why you're going to be making disciples, and you know what you're going to be offering people, what your message is, and you know who you're going to be talking to, where you're going to be talking to them, when you're going to be talking to them. But you know one thing that really scares people and many times keeps people from actually beginning to talk with people is they think, well, I don't know what to do based on how they respond. And so that's what I want to show you right now. So if you'll just take your page and you will just turn it, fold it over this way. So what I want you to write at the top is, what now? What that simply means is, okay, I've talked with people. I tried to talk to them about God. I tried to talk to them about something spiritual, and they responded, what in the world do I do now? And so that's what we want to do. I want to just go through a very simple way for you to remember what to do. And we're gonna practice this. So when we're done, I'm gonna have you walk through this with me so you have a better understanding. But this has really helped me a lot. And so what I want you to do is I want you to just draw a very thin rectangle here, just kind of in the middle of this little panel here. And then I want you to write an R here and a Y somewhere in the middle and a G at the bottom. This doesn't have to be exact, and circle them. Does that remind you of anything? A red on top, a yellow in the middle, and a green at the bottom? Exactly, a stoplight. And this has helped me a lot. And so this is what we're going to do. So this, after you've talked to people, this is what their response is over here. And this, on this side, would be your next step based on how they respond. And so the red light, that would simply be a no. They have no interest in spiritual things or talking to you about anything spiritual. Hey, that's cool. Not everybody's going to talk to you. You're not out to try to convince people to listen to what you have to say. You're just trying to find the people God's working on. So what's your next step? Your next step is simply ask for a referral. And what I mean is simply say, hey, I completely understand you're not interested. Do you know anybody that might be interested in what I shared with you? Or if you prayed with them, hey, do you know anybody that might appreciate somebody praying with them? Now, just stop the spiritual part, but it doesn't mean you have to walk away. Still treat them with respect. Shoot, you can talk about anything, sports, weather, news, whatever you want. You still love them and care for them. You just don't need to keep trying to force it so that they listen to you when they're not interested. The second response you might get is I call it a maybe, or a not sure. They just don't know. And you don't know. You're not sure. So what do you do then? Well, you just keep talking with them more. You may not talk more then. Maybe they got to go. Maybe it's not appropriate. But you might say, hey, could I come back and talk with you some more? It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Or if it's a friend, like we're trying to focus on here, if it's a friend, hey, you just let the conversation go then, and you come back later, and maybe you try to pick up another spiritual conversation some other time. You're just kind of feeling them out to see where they are. What if you get a green light? That's someone who says, yes, I'm interested. I want to surrender my life to Jesus. Well, what do? Well, that one's pretty easy. You tell them, hey, you need to talk to God. Tell him you want to put all your trust in Jesus to make you right with God, and you want to surrender to Jesus and make him king of your life. Okay, that's it. You want to put your belief in Jesus, and you want to surrender to Jesus. And then you share with them the 7 W's, which is exactly what I'm sharing with you. Very simple. So you can run into somebody that's not interested, no problem. Hey, you know anybody else that might want me to pray with them or might want to hear what I talk with you about? You run into someone that's a maybe or you're not sure about, no problem. Don't sweat it. Don't get uptight. Just talk some more. You run into somebody that's super excited and wants to surrender to Jesus. What do you tell them? Hey, you need to surrender to Jesus. And let me show you, now that you're a follower of Jesus, what you need to be doing, which is what we're walking through. Now, the fourth category would be, I would put a cross down here, would be they're already a believer. They're already a follower of Jesus. Now, this one I find can be a little bit tricky because a lot of people tell you they're a believer or they're a Christian. So what I've learned to do is I just say, hey man, that's really cool. Can you tell me your story of how you became a Christian? Because I want to know, are they really a follower of Jesus? Or do they just say they're a Christian because they grew up in a Christian household or they go to church every once in a while? So what do? You ask them about their story, and then if they want to know, you say, then, hey man, how's it going talking to other people about Jesus? And you know what most Christians will say? I'll tell you what they'll say. The same thing I used to say. It's not going well because I don't really know how to do that. Well, you don't beat them up. You just go, hey, I totally get it. You know, somebody showed me something that's really helped me be able to talk to people about Jesus that is easy for me to do, and I don't feel like I'm beating people over the head. If you got a couple minutes, I'd love to show you that. And if they say, yeah, you can show them the 7 W's, just like I'm showing you, or you can show them just how to share their story and share God's story, whatever you think is appropriate. And so now then, I want you to walk through this with me.